Welcome to the Sports Quiz. For all those watching, don't worry, we're not going to crack on with the questions straight away. I've got a few things to run through before we start. So if you've got team members that haven't quite joined yet, then get them settled, get them involved, and we'll be starting the questions in 5 minutes or so. Hopefully all your technology's working all right. I know there were some issues with Zoom earlier on today, but I think, fingers crossed, it's all working now. I need to say a massive, massive thank you to Paul from Kennet Valley Church, who's got all of this up and running. He's spent all afternoon working on this, trying to get it going. So, yeah, massive thanks to him. I'm Charlie. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm going to be taking you through the quiz. The quiz is put together by an organisation called Christians in Sport. They do a brilliant, brilliant quiz every year, and it's put together by them. Although there's one question which I thought, I'm not sure about that answer. So I literally Googled it about 5-10 minutes before we were about to start. And there's one question that the answer isn't quite right, but I'll tell you about that when we get there. So let me quickly give you a rundown of what's going to happen this evening. So we're going to have 6 rounds. We're going to have 3 rounds. We'll go through the answers to those 3 rounds. There will then be a little break in the middle where we've got Daniel Cutting, who is a YouTuber and football freestyler, who is going to be joining us on Zoom. He's going to do a little performance of some tricks for us, and then I'll be interviewing him about what he does and about his faith as a Christian and how that comes into his role as a YouTuber and football freestyler. So that'll be in the middle. Then we'll have the final 3 rounds. We'll go through the answers to those 3 rounds. You'll toss up your scores. You will have a total. There should be a text number across the bottom of your screen, and so I'll ask you at the end to text in your scores at the end. There'll then be a short video at the end, and then we'll reveal who's won. So I'm going to quickly run through the teams that I've had confirm. Okay, so if you don't hear your team name, then make sure you drop me a text on the number at the bottom of the screen to confirm your team name. So here we go. We've got Quarantine, the In-Betweeners. They think it's all over. My Cooler Older Brothers Team. Great name. Superbox. Pobody's Perfect. Opening Weekend Shenanigans. Leicester Quizzy. Let's Get Quizzical. Skywalkers. Team URs. The Smiths. This Is Going to Be Messy. The Intercontinentals. Need to give a big shout out to the Intercontinentals because we've got some people watching from Bermuda and from Cape Town, which is amazing. This quiz has gone worldwide. So a big shout out to Michael, Carla, Daniel and Gabby in Bermuda, and to Ingrid, Amy and Ellie, who are watching from Cape Town in South Africa. So that's the Intercontinentals. We've got Westwood Warriors, we've got Mumbai Warriors, and again, a big shout out to the Mumbai Warriors, because they have got some people watching from Chicago in their team. So a big shout out to Renu and Kamal from Chicago. Mumbai Warriors, we've got Team Lee Telford, we've got Tanner's Gang, and then Graham Cook. Graham Cook's team is going to be the team name, unless I hear any different. Just had another team text in, the Oldies, whoever that might be. So that is a total of 20 teams so far. So make sure, if you haven't got your team name in there, text in so we can make sure that your team is confirmed. Got another one, Atta family from Lewis. Lovely, 21 teams, brilliant. Okay. So, another thing to say with the text number at the bottom, obviously keep texting in if you're watching and I haven't read out your team name. The other thing, that text number, if you've got a question that you want to ask Daniel Cutting, you might have seen him on YouTube. If you've got a question that you want to ask him, there'll be a little slot for some question and answers when he's joining us. So text in your questions and we'll see how many of those we can get through. We won't be able to get through them all, but text them in and we'll see how many we can get in. Brilliant. Okay, a few more. So Graham Cook's team is called the Shuttlecocks. Brilliant. We Will Come Last, another team. Great team name. The Oldies is the Thomas family with Gabriel. Brilliant. Okay. Great. Yeah, and that text number across the bottom, if you've got any questions for me, I'm going to try and preempt a lot of your questions because, you get all the quiz questions like, oh, do I get half a point for this? Do I get 2 points for this? I will try and preempt those. But if you have got any questions, any comments, if you just want to heckle, text me on the number below. Okay, last couple of things. The prize for the winning team is a £50 Amazon voucher. And the prize for the second team is a £25 Amazon voucher. Everybody else just gets the fun of being involved. So that's the prize. £50 Amazon voucher for the top team, £25 Amazon voucher for the second place team. And we'll announce the winners at the end. And last thing to say, and this is important, every team will have the opportunity to play a joker. And the joker means that you get double points in that round. And so what I'm going to do is I'll pause just for 30 seconds at the start of each round. And if you want to play your joker in that round, then just text me, get your team captain to text and say joker, so I know that you've played it. And then when you're adding up your points at the end, whatever round you played your joker for, you can double your points for that round. Hopefully that will make sense. I'm going to talk you through the rounds quickly now, so you might get an idea of which round you want to play your joker in. A couple more teams coming in. The McCulloch clan. You don't need to text your answers in. You just have a piece of paper, get your team captain to grab a piece of paper, write down the answers, and then you can toss up your scores that way. So these are the 6 rounds. I'll quickly go through them. So round 1, sporting trivia. So we'll have 10 questions on sporting facts, stats, mostly from recent years. Round 2 is called Guess Me Quick, which is a picture round where there'll be sports people with a blurred face or their face covered up or flips upside down, and you have to say who the sports star is from a range of different sports. Round 3 is an observation round. So there'll be a video clip, and then following on from that, there'll be 10 questions related to what you saw. So that's the observation round. Round 4 is called Listen to My Voice. You're going to hear a short interview clip from 10 sports people, and you have to say, just from hearing the voice, who the sports person is. Round 5 is This Sporting Decade, and you're going to get sports questions based around what has happened in the last 10 years, so 2010 through to 2019. And then the last round, round 6, is called Teamoji. And you might have seen quizzes or something where there's a few emojis together and it makes up a word or a phrase. And there's going to be some emojis, and the emojis together make up a sports team. And there'll be a range of different sports covered there. So there's Teamoji with the sports teams. So hopefully that gives you a little idea of which round you might want to play your joker. And I think we'll get going. And a big warm welcome to Pangers and Mash who have joined us. Okay, hopefully everyone's ready and we are going to crack on. Okay, round 1, sporting trivia. If you would like to play your joker, quickly send me a message now. So sporting trivia is the 10 questions on sporting facts and stats, mostly from the previous years, last year, the year before. Anyone playing your joker, text in now. Brilliant. Right, well, let's get cracking with this round. Question 1. What are the 5 colours of the Olympic rings? What are the 5 colours of the Olympic rings? I'll give you about 30 seconds for each question, so you can chat in your teams. Okay, question 2. How many golf clubs are you allowed to carry in your bag over a round? How many golf clubs are you allowed to carry in your bag over a round? Butsy, that's a question for you. So just a reminder, you don't need to text in your answers to each question to me. You just need to write your answers down on a sheet of paper. Write your answers down on a sheet of paper and you'll be marking your own at the end. So don't worry about texting answers through to me. Okay, question 3. Wireless animal is an anagram of which famous tennis player? Wireless animal is an anagram of which famous tennis player? Okay, question 4. If you're still struggling on that one, why not write it down on a piece of paper? Get someone in your team to work on that one while we move on. And question 4. Paul, can you flick it over to me? For some reason it's not. Yeah, I got it. Question 4. In which sport would the officials be carrying these cards? So you've got a red circle, a yellow square, and a green triangle. In which sport would the officials be carrying these cards? Okay, question 5. Lost it again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, question 5. Apologies for the technical issues. That's my fault. Dina Asher-Smith won a gold and 2 silver medals at the 2019 World Athletics Championships. In which race did she take the gold? A, 100 metres, B, the 4x100 metres relay, or C, 200 metres? I've had a compliment on my shirt from Pobody's Perfect. Thanks, Pobody's Perfect. I say compliment. They said, "What are you wearing?" I assume that's I'm taking that as a compliment. So, thanks, guys. I've lost it again, Paul. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Question 6. Who was the first woman to win a match at the PDC World Darts Championships in 2020? Okay, question 7. Which sport is this? A, blind football, B, boccia, or C, goalball? Okay, question 8. Only 2 countries have won more medals at the Winter Olympics than in the Summer Games. Who are they? 2 countries have won more medals at the Winter Olympics than in Summer Games. Who are they? Again, we're going to move on, but if you want someone to write that one down, you can come back to it. Question 9. What position did Wales finish in the 2019 Rugby World Cup? What position did Wales finish in the 2019 Rugby World Cup? Okay, and question 10, last one in this round. Only 2 players, actually I think this is the one who, the question is slightly wrong on this one. So the question says only 2 players have scored Premier League goals for 7 different clubs. Name one of them. There's actually only one who has scored goals for 7 Premier League clubs. Can you name that one player? There's only one. The question is slightly wrong. Okay, end of round 1. Round 2 is Guess Me Quick, where you're going to see some sports faces or some sports people that are blurred or spinned the wrong way up or something. And you have to tell me who that sports person is. So if you want to play your joker, then send me a message now on the text number below. And you can play your joker for this round and get double points. I think on this one there'll be 30 seconds, which will be a timer at the top of the screen on each question. So you'll have 30 seconds for each one. Okay. Here we go. There's your 30 seconds up. There's number 2. Number 3. You get no prizes on this one for how quickly you get the answer, I'm afraid. No way to judge that one. Number 4. We have had a joker in this round. Someone has played their joker. So I hope that's paying off for you. I'd be struggling on this round. Number 5. It's got to be an easier one, that one. It's just showed you his face. Question 6. A bit of a giveaway there, maybe. Number 7. Don't worry, I think you will see more than just the arm. There you go. Question 8. Question 9. And the last one of this round, question 10. There you go, and that is the end of round 2. You're getting a bit of extra time on that one. Okay, so this round is the observation round. So you're going to see a video, 3 minutes long or something like that, and then you'll have some questions to answer off the back of it. If you'd like to play your joker for this round, then text in now. Okay. We had a couple of jokers in for this round. And let's start the video. Apologies if it's paused. Hopefully get going in a second. There you go. Oh, there's your hint for the questions that are to come.
A billion people tuning into the match between...
Hey, you ready?
Netherlands and Nigeria before a capacity crowd.
You're not done.
Off the post. And here comes Ji So-young on the attack. Alright, get together, get strong. That's the cover.
Women's football game sets new sales record. Longshuang rocks the world yet again.
Biggest turnout ever seen in sports. How does it feel?
It's Barca making a last push, and there's a foul.
That post, Gerard. Okay.
Big opportunity for coach Alex Scott and the team.
PK! Round the back!
Coutinho, the PK. Goal! The league's first female coach makes history. Keeper fires to Dan. Oh, that's incredible footwork. She's on the move. Big chance for Australia, and Kerr setting up for the kick.
¿Pero qué está pasando ahí?
Hey, you ready?
Okay, there you go. And question 1. With which foot does the Dutch number 11 score the first goal? With which foot does the Dutch number 11 score the first goal? I'll give you a clue. It's one of 2 options. Question number 2. What colour is the armband of the French captain in the changing room? What colour is the armband of the French captain in the changing room? Okay, question 3. Which England player is the young girl paired up with? Which England player is the young girl paired up with? Okay, number 4. What is the name of the video game that sets the sales record? What is the name of the video game that sets the sales record? Done very well if you get this one. That's a tough one. Okay, number 5. What colour are the Chinese players' headphones? What colour are the Chinese players' headphones? We've had quite a few jokers on this round. Is it paying off? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 jokers, I think, for this round. 7 jokers for the round, which doesn't actually require a lot of sporting knowledge. Question 6. Who is the Barcelona coach mentioned in the clip? Who is the Barcelona coach mentioned in the clip? Okay, question 7. What's the score in the USA versus Australia game before the free kick is scored? What's the score before the free kick is scored? Okay, question number 8. The young girl has a badge on her left arm. How many figures are depicted on it? How many figures depicted on the badge on the girl's left arm? Okay, number 9. What number is the Australian player Sam Kerr wearing? What number is Sam Kerr wearing? Okay, and question number 10. How many different national teams are shown in the advert? On the whole advert, how many national teams are shown. Okay, end of round 3. So we're going to go through the answers. I'm going to give you a minute if there's any questions that we're not going to recap any questions, but if there's any questions that you wanted to write down and go back over, like the anagram or whatever, I'll give you a minute to do them, and then we'll go through the answers to those 3 rounds. Okay, I think that's long enough. Answers to the first 3 rounds. If you played your joker, I know we've had some teams played your joker there, so I know who you are. If you played your joker in one of those 3 rounds, then just total up your score and double it for that round, and then you can add that on at the end. Okay, here we go. Question 1, round 1. What are the 5 colours of the Olympic rings? You should put blue, yellow, black, green, and red. And to preempt the question, can we get half a point if we got 2 or 3? No, you can't. 1 point for all of them, and no half points awarded, I'm afraid. Question 2. How many golf clubs are you allowed to carry in your bag over a round? Correct answer is 14. Any golfers who know more than me, feel free to dispute that if you think is wrong. Question 3. Wireless animal is an anagram of which famous tennis player? It's Serena Williams. Question 4. In which sport would the officials be carrying these cards? It's hockey. Question for the Cook family. Question 5. Dina Asher-Smith won a gold, 2 silvers at the 2019 World Athletics Championships. She took the gold in the 200 metres. Question 6. Who was the first woman to win a match at the PDC Darts Championships this year? It was Fallon Sherrock. Who narrowly lost to Phil Taylor, I think, in a virtual darts match over Zoom a couple of weeks ago. Question 7, which sport is this? It's goalball. Who knew? Question 8. Only 2 countries have won more medals at the Winter Olympics than in the Summer Games. Who are they? Again, I'm going to be harsh and say both for the point, please. It's Norway and Austria. Very, very well done if you got that right. Question 9. What position did Wales finish in the 2019 Rugby World Cup? One for the Pangers and Mash out there. 4th. Came 4th because they didn't get to the final. And then they lost the 3rd and 4th place playoff. So they came 4th. 4th, that was, just to confirm. And number 10, only 2 players have scored Premier League goals for 7 different clubs. Name one of them. Craig Bellamy and Peter Crouch. It's actually only Craig Bellamy. Craig Bellamy is the right answer to that one. Peter Crouch has not scored for Burnley, and that is why he's only scored for 6 different clubs. If he had scored a goal for Burnley, which he hasn't done, he would have been on there too, but he has not scored for Burnley yet. Bellamy has scored for Coventry, Newcastle, Blackburn, Liverpool, Man City, West Ham and Cardiff. So well done if you said Bellamy. Just to confirm, no point for Peter Crouch. Okay, round 2. Guess me quickly. Number 1 was Harry Kane. Number 2 was Andy Murray. Number 3 was Carrie Adenegan. She won the Young Sports Personality of the Year a year or 2 ago, I think. But she is a British wheelchair athlete specialising in the T34 sprint race. Question 4 is Jordan Spieth. Question 5 is, of course, Jofra Archer. Question 6, one for you guys watching over there in Cape Town, is Sia Kolisi, the South African rugby captain. Number 7 was Joanna Konta. Number 8 was Olympic, World, European and Commonwealth swimming champion Adam Peaty. Number 9 was Dina Asher-Smith. And number 10 was American gymnast Simone Biles. Okay, round 3, observation round. A fair few jokers played here. So with which foot does the number 11 score the first goal? It was the right foot. Quickly, before we move on to the second question, obviously at the end of this round, when we've done the answers to round 3, we'll be watching Dan do some tricks and then we'll be asking him some questions. So if you've got any questions, text them in now. Number 2, what colour is the armband of the French captain in the changing room? You can have red or orange. Either is fine, red or orange. Question 3. Which England player is the young girl paired up with? It is Fran Kirby, or Kirby is fine. Question 4. What's the name of the video game that sets the sales record? It was called Shootout 21. Very well done if you got that one right. One sec. One second, sorry folks.
So if to do it, yeah? Do you reckon I should? Yeah? Do you reckon he's waiting for me?
You're getting a little sneak preview there. Can you just chuck the whole thing? Can you chuck the thing back? Okay, number 5. What colour are the Chinese players' headphones? They are red. We'll rattle through these ones now. Number 6, who is the Barca coach mentioned in the clip? Alex Scott. Number 7, what's the score in the USA versus Australia game before the free kick is scored? The score was 2-0. The young girl has a badge on her left arm. How many figures are depicted on it? There are 3. 3. Number 9, what number is the Australian Sam Kerr wearing? She is wearing number 20. And number 10, last question in this round. How many different national teams are shown in the advert? There are 9. So a point if you got 9, no points, I'm afraid, if you got 8 or 10. 9 is the answer. Great, so I'll give you 30 seconds to just, you might want to tot up your answers, tot up your total for that half of the quiz for the first 3 rounds. No need to text me just yet. You can just text me the total at the end. But add up your answers for those 3 rounds, get your total for that. Great, and now we are so privileged and so thankful to be joined by Daniel Cutting. And Daniel, thanks so much for taking the time out. Over to you, do your thing.
Okay, here we go, one more. You ready? Woo! Thank you. I'll just turn the music off. Hey Siri, stop. There we go. Can you,
Unbelievable.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is that right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, mate.
Woo!
I bet it's a bit weird for you doing all that, though, and not getting a round of applause at the end of it, but, you know.
Nah, I'm used to that. No one ever claps for me. 1 sec, I'm just going to flip the camera so I can see you. Hang on.
Where are we going? Hello.
Mate, unbelievable.
Well, thank you, mate. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks to your wife as well for filming you.
Yeah, she's getting better. You know, we're still trying to slowly learning, but you know, no one's perfect, are we? I think I swallowed about 8 flies as well during that. It's like the time of the evening where the flies come out.
Mate, well, thank you so much for joining us today. I so appreciate it. Yeah.
Pleasure.
So great to have you with us. Got some
I'm not
questions.
that pleased to see a Man United shirt though. I don't know what's going on there. That wasn't part of the deal that you'd be wearing a Man United shirt.
What can I say? What can I say? Sports Quiz. I've got to get this old retro one out. So, are you an MK Dons fan, Dan?
Loosely. I mean, I'm from Milton Keynes. I've been to a game. That's about as loyal as I am.
Okay.
I'm Arsenal.
Arsenal. Fair enough. We won't have a fight about it.
No.
So, Dan, some questions for you. So, I know you kind of do more of the YouTube stuff now, but like thinking about football freestyling, how long have you been doing that for?
Yeah, I've been doing freestyle for quite a while now. I mean, I started learning tricks and skills when I was probably, ever since I could walk, you know, Dad put a football in there and said, football's going to be your thing. And I was kind of an all-rounder at sports, but football was always the one that would stick. So in terms of playing football, I did a lot of that, but then I just love freestyle. I just love to try and be creative. And when I got to a point of, I started learning like tricks at 12, 13 years old. I learned around the world, which is one of the most kind of like common skills now. I think a lot of, hopefully people watching will be able to hopefully master it around the world. If you don't know it, I've got a YouTube little video on it, so you can go check that out. But once I've kind of learned that around the world and I started to learn quickly, it really encouraged me to just keep practicing and keep doing it. And I was about 16 years old and I did 27,000 keep uppies just out in the front garden one day. And I think it was at that point, after my brother, bless him, counted every single one for me. That was a challenging bit, him counting that high. And then I thought, you know what, I might be pretty good at this. And then I started to kind of learn the tricks and the skills, and it kind of all started to grow from there, really.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I can't even do it around the world, so, you know, you'll have to teach me that one sometime. So thinking about, so you're doing the YouTube stuff now, but thinking about across, you know, all the stuff you've done with freestyling and everything else, what have been kind of the unforgettable moments in your career?
Yeah, I feel like I've been very blessed. Like I've worked extremely hard to get where I am. Obviously, I really believe that I've had some unbelievable experiences, you know, first thing to travel, because I absolutely love to travel, to have got to perform in over 40 countries around the world is just like unbelievable, you know, some of the biggest stadiums in the world. But probably some of the standout things for me would be meeting, playing with and working with people like Messi, Neymar, Zinedine Zidane, Pele, to name a few, you know. I don't want to start name dropping, but they're some of my favourites. And not to meet them and, you know, get an autograph, but actually to work with them and to, you know, I've been on set with Neymar and I'm specifically been flown in to try and show him and work out what skills can he do, can I teach him something, and how's it going to look best in the commercial, in the advert. And then as well as that, a lot of the time I get to body double. If I'm like the right kind of fit in terms of, you know, their physique, I'll body double for Beckham, for Gerrard, for Thomas Muller, for Zidane, in different adverts. So it looks like it's them doing the skills, but actually it's me who's doing it a lot of the time.
So you can do better skills than Zidane and Beckham and all those guys.
Yeah, I'm confident. They're great footballers. I'm not gonna say I'm as good a footballer as them, obviously, but yeah, in terms of the skills, I mean, you've got the standout players like Ronaldo and Ronaldinho who are unbelievable. But even those guys, I fancy my chances.
Great. Well, of tricks, stuff like that. Is there a favourite one you do? I mean, I reckon I could guess it from watching the video. There's a lot of balancing on the head going on. But
yeah, I do. I utilise the bald head quite a bit, to be honest. It's good to do that.
Yeah. Is it true that you've got a Guinness World Record for the rolling it on your head?
Yeah, I've got the world record for that. So like balancing it in your temple and then rolling it. And then so starting, you see I'll do it right here. Starting there, rolling, and then going there. And it's the most that you can do. I did, the old record was only, I think, well, I say only, it was 550 or something in a row, and I did 1,810.
Oh my word.
So I smashed that one. If I'm breaking a world record, I want to know that I've got it for like the foreseeable future.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got 8 world records now, which, to be honest, like growing up, I always wanted to be the best at something, and I kind of guess it would have been football if it was going to be anything, as opposed to, you know, stuffing Pringles in your mouth or whatever some of the world records are now. But the fact that I've got 8 world records and I broke 3 world records last year, and I just want to keep going and keep bettering myself and see how many I can get.
Yeah, mate, amazing. 8 world
That's
records.
cool.
Wow. So Dan, thinking a bit more about, so you're a Christian, and so could you tell us just a little bit about when you became a Christian?
Yeah, sure. So for me, I grew up in a Christian family. I feel really blessed and privileged that I was able to, you know, I was born into a Christian family. My mum and dad have been committed Christians ever since I was young, and going to church on a Sunday morning was like, you know, the normal thing to do. Like the weekend would come around, I'd play football on a Saturday and go to church on a Sunday. And I thought other kids were the weird ones when they weren't going to church. And I was just like, hang on, you're like, why are you not going to church? And then I realised that probably I was the minority that was. But they were my 2 things that I just loved. But I made a commitment when I was 6 years old, praying a prayer, asking Jesus to become my best friend, asking him into my heart. Obviously, I was a pretty perfect little 6-year-old, so I hadn't done a lot wrong at that age, you know, model. No, I was probably a nightmare. But yeah, I knew at that point, even at that stage in my life, I looked at my mum and dad and I knew there was something different about them. And I knew it was to do with this relationship with Jesus. And I just wanted it for me. And I didn't want to just, and then it was kind of, you know, a gradual process over the years, going to Spring Harvest and Soul Survivor and Christians in Sport, you know, and all these different things that I went to build on that foundation of becoming a Christian at that age. So that was the moment I became a Christian, but I believe it was a real, gradual thing. You know, going to church on a Sunday was really important to me, but I knew that didn't make me a Christian, you know, so it was just trying to work out, okay, what do I do? What do I need to do in order to make this the biggest and the best part of my life? Not just something I've said, I want this to happen, but then forget about it. So that's the kind of thing, even now, I still try and, you know, you're trying to work out every day as a Christian.
Yeah, amazing. So in terms of, thinking about your faith as a Christian and your life and your career as freestyler YouTuber, how do they go together? How does your faith affect, your life as a YouTuber and freestyler?
Yeah, well, I guess the right answer would be to say that it affects every part of it. You know, that's ultimately what we want. Whatever job you do, whatever you're going to, you know, grow up to do, if you're young watching this or whatever, you want to be able to do something which glorifies God. And I've, you know, worked really hard at the skills, practiced some skills for, you know, 5-6 years and still haven't quite managed them. But for me, it's about recognizing that my relationship with God is the most important thing. And I think, especially in the industry that I'm in, and the freestyle suffers, you know, as many highs as I've had. For every one high, I've probably had 10 lows. You know what I mean? For every one job that I got or one casting that I went to and they said, yes, you're right, there's 10 others that they said, no, you're not what we're looking for, you know? So there's a lot of that in this kind of, in that entertainment industry. But I think it's an amazing thing being a Christian, because once you can just, you know, recognize and try and stick to that audience of one, and that, you know, that like, okay, I'm doing this for God. And yes, I know I get muddled along the way, but ultimately I want to glorify God through what I do. So even if I'm successful, even if I'm not, if my heart is in the right place and I want to do it for that reason, then I think I can achieve amazing things. It doesn't always mean it's going to be easy. It actually, the Bible says it's the more difficult route. You know, it's not easy to be a Christian, but there's something so amazing, rewarding about having a God that's just constantly there through those awful times when you just feel like rubbish because someone says you're not good enough, or, oh, you're never going to do this, you're never going to do that, you know. And I think having God there and having that relationship with him is just so key, and that foundation is just like the most amazing thing.
Yeah, you kind of touched on next question that I was going to ask, really, about kind of challenges, you know, being a Christian in the environment that you find yourself in. Yeah,
no, it's definitely challenging. I think because as well, it's you kind of have to be like a little bit out there, you know, like with my YouTube videos, I try to be really energetic, and I'm an energetic person, I'm always active and stuff, but you kind of just want to be as true to yourself as you can be, though. And there are lots of challenges because you are faced with a lot of negativity, you know, trolls and people like that, you know. You think, oh, how can you be that horrible, you know? But people, it's amazing. When I started to break through onto the scene, I was this kind of like big bald guy, you know, and literally it's almost like the skills weren't relevant because every single comment would be, ha ha, you've got no hair.
Yeah.
And like this, like, it's just absolutely mad. I think that now, and I think some of the comments very hurtful, but it's amazing how you can go from one comment being, oh, you're a vision of hope for those who have dreams, you know, to the comment underneath which says, you're arrogant, you're horrible, I can't stand you. And it's just like, and sometimes you go back to those people and you say, I'm really sorry you think that. And they're like, oh, no, I didn't mean it. I just trying to get your attention. I'm your biggest fan. And it's a mad world that we live in. And the whole kind of social media thing, and it's all based around followers and fans. And, oh, you know, until you get to X amount of followers, you can't be successful and this kind of stuff. So try to deal with all that and stay grounded and, you know, and show achievements and think, wow, you know, I've got nearly 2 million followers across YouTube, social media and stuff. And that's amazing. But wanting to push for more, but actually thinking, you know what, if I don't get more and God's just blessed me with that amount, then that's cool. And it's that balance between, I want to be the most successful person I can be, but also it's not the most important thing in my life.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's amazing. And like you say, it can be such a challenge to, like, particularly for people like doing the sort of thing that you do, you're just constantly pushing yourself to get more likes and to get more likes, and you can kind of, that the temptation could be that that's where you get your value from. But, you know, I can hear in what you're saying that as a Christian, your value comes from the fact that you've got a relationship with Jesus, and you know that that's where your value comes from.
But it doesn't mean that I think it's important to say that, like, for people watching this, I do, you know, I still sometimes I've got to be really careful because if, you know, like at the minute, it seems like views across YouTube and across social media in general are quite low, and I'm putting a lot of effort into stuff, and I'm getting loads of positive comments on the videos, but it's so easy to fall back into, I'm just, you know, I'm not making videos anymore. It's like a daily thing. I have to tell myself, no, like, you know, I'm doing this because I love it and because God's made me and he's gifted me and he wants me to use my skills. So it's that battle, but it's not just because I'm where I am now, I still struggle with the same stuff. And that's why I think, you know, I look at these big A-list celebrities and I think you've got it all, but actually you're lonely or you're suffering with anxiety and depression because it's a real tough kind of industry to be in and be successful in.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. I absolutely love what you're doing. I completely agree that you have got a gift from God and you are using it, and that is glorifying him. So keep doing what you're doing. Dan, if people want to check out more of your stuff, where can they go to find more of what you're doing?
Yeah, just check it out on YouTube. It's my kind of main platform that I'm uploading on. I upload on pretty much every platform every day, or not most days. So yeah, YouTube, just search my name, Daniel Cutting. Instagram, TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok, guys. Sorry to say it. All my social media stuff. I feel ashamed to say it, but I've got some good videos on there, guys. Go and check them out. You know, I think you'll enjoy it. All my social media is all DC Freestyle, and then my YouTube channel is Daniel Cutting. So like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Get involved. That'd be good to see you over there on my platforms.
Yeah, mate, nice one. Thank you so much again for joining us. It's an absolute privilege to have you with us. And take care, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you get all right with the quiz. Enjoy, everyone. See you later.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
See ya. There you go. Thank you guys so much for. We had a few questions in, but they kind of got answered as we were going along. There was questions about. I think a few people asked what's his record amount of keepy uppies, and we heard it in there. It's 27,000 or something like that. So thank you for sending your questions in. Like Daniel said, go and check him out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever else. We're gonna crack on with the next 3 rounds now. I'm going to give you a minute or so if you want to go and grab yourself a drink, something to eat, need to go to the toilet, whatever. Go and do that now, and we will start again in a minute or so. Right, so I'm going to give you a quick reminder of the 3 rounds we've got left, so you know any teams that haven't played your Joker yet, you know what you've got coming. So the next round, round 4, is Listen to My Voice, where you're going to hear 10 sports people involved in sport in some way in an interview, and you've got to say who that is. Round 5 is This Sporting Decade, just general knowledge questions about the last decade in sport. And then round 6 is the Teamoji, the emojis that make up a sports team. So round 4, which is the Listen to My Voice round. Text in now if you would like to use your Joker on this round. Okay, we'll crack on. That's the round. That's the round. That's the round. So you've got to say who that is. Was that coming through? Hold on, I'm just going to go back one. I'm going to go back. We'll start from the beginning because I didn't realise how quickly they rattled through to the next one. So you're going to hear the first one again.
Ooh, what was this? It was really good. Well, the best word I can say, but will describe this was boom. Ooh, what was this? It was really good.
There's number 1. I've had a team texting in just asking what round 6 is. Round 6 is the emojis one, Teamojis, where you've got some emojis that make up a sports team. Okay, question 2.
I mean, obviously, I'm super shocked, but I'm just super blessed that Wimbledon decided to give me the wild card. I mean, I never expected this to happen. Obviously, I literally got my dream draw, so I'm just super happy I was able to pull it out today. And she played amazing and was just super nice. And she's always been nice the couple times I met her. I mean, obviously, I'm super shocked. But I'm just super blessed that Wimbledon decided to give me the wild card. I mean, I never expected this to happen. Obviously, I literally got my dream draw, so I'm just super happy I was able to pull it out today. And she played amazing and was just super nice. And she's always been nice the couple times I met her.
There you go. Moving on to number 3.
To me and to the team, and everybody who's been involved over the last 4 years, it means absolutely everything. The planning, the hard work, the dedication, the commitment, and the little bit of luck today really did get us over the line. It's been an absolutely incredible journey. To me and to the team, and everybody who's been involved over the last 4 years, it means absolutely everything. The planning, the hard work, the dedication, the commitment, and the little bit of luck today really did get us over the line. It's been an absolutely incredible journey.
There you go. So yeah, as you would have heard, you're hearing each one twice. So number 4.
I want to say, man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice. I want to say, man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
There you go. Moving on to number 5.
I don't enjoy winning individual awards, especially the silver ball. kind of fell with no meaning for me, because the whole point of winning those awards is winning the World Cup, and ultimately I would trade every single one of them awards, every single award that I have at home, just to win the World Cup. I don't enjoy winning individual awards, especially the silver ball kind of fell with no meaning for me, because the whole point of winning those awards is winning the World Cup, and ultimately I would trade every single one of them awards, every single award that I have at home, just to win the World Cup.
Okay, moving on to number 6.
I'm delighted, thrilled, disappointed with the way we played at times, because that's not the standards we set ourselves. But the resilience of the team, and I told you before the game, there's a relentlessness about them. And obviously we had to rely on frees of some unbelievable saves. I'm delighted, thrilled, disappointed with the way we played at times, because that's not the standards we set ourselves. But the resilience of the team, and I told you before the game, there's a relentlessness about them. And obviously we had to rely on frees of some unbelievable saves.
Okay, number 7.
It's my third year now in France, and last year I sort of got a big injury in the Commonwealth Games, and I feel like Berlin was a little bit too soon for me. And I've had all the time in the world this year. It's obviously October, so we've had such a great build-up, and I've not had any injuries, so it just shows you what can happen when I have a uninterrupted build-up. It's my third year now in France, and last year I sort of got a big injury in the Commonwealth Games, and I feel like Berlin was a little bit too soon for me. And I've had all the time in the world this year. It's obviously October, so we've had such a great build-up, and I've not had any injuries, so it just shows you what can happen when I have a uninterrupted build-up.
Okay. Number 8. I don't think we've had any jokers for this one. Number 8.
I was actually saying to Ariel, maybe when you actually are a billionaire, you don't need to do the Billy Strut. You know what I mean? So the Billy Strut got me to $1 billion. Now I'm a billionaire, so I'll just chill for a bit. I was actually saying to Ariel, maybe when you actually are a billionaire, you don't need to do the Billy Strut. You know what I mean? So the Billy Strut got me to $1 billion. Now I'm a billionaire, so I'll just chill for a bit.
Moving on to number 9.
I am feeling good. It has taken 65 years for a human being to make history in sport. After Roger Bannister made history in 1954, it took another 63 years. I tried and I did not get. I am feeling good. It has taken 65 years for a human being to make history in sport. After Roger Bannister made history in 1954, it took another 63 years. I tried and I did not get.
Okay, and moving on to number 10, last one in this round, which is possibly the best interview clip ever. Here we go.
We've got another week to get back on the horse, and take that horse to the water, and you can ask that horse. You can say, "Hey, horsey, do you want to have a drink, or do you want to swim?" Yeah, and it's up to that horse to then realise what he wants to do in his life. And that horse at the moment wants to go out on Saturday. He wants to clippity-clop all the way to the stoop. And he wants to say hello to those fans. And he goes, "I'm sorry about the result last week, but I'm going to give a better performance here at home against Bath." He's a slightly Irish horse. We've got another week to get back on the horse, and take that horse to the water. And you can ask that horse. You can say, "Hey, horsey, do you want to have a drink, or do you want to swim?" Yeah, and it's up to that horse to then realise what he wants to do in his life. And that horse at the moment wants to go out on Saturday. He wants to clippity-clop all the way to the stoop. And he wants to say hello to those fans. And he goes, "I'm sorry about the result last week, but I'm going to give a better performance here at home against Bath." He's a slightly Irish horse.
There you go. Moving on to round 5, the sporting decade. If you would like to play your joker in this round, then text in now. Few jokers in for this one. Lots of jokers in for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 jokers in for this one. Big round. This could be a game-changing round this sporting decade. Let's crack on. These are all multiple choice, I think. Which men's English football club won the most major honours in the decade? So that's domestic and major European trophies only, not including Super Cups or Club World Cups. Is it A, Man City, B, Chelsea, C, Man United, or D, Liverpool? Number 2. Which player has scored the most test match cricket runs in the last decade? Alistair Cook, Virat Kohli, Joe Root, or Steve Smith? Most test match cricket runs in the last decade. Okay, question 3. Which male rugby union player scored the most international points this decade? A, Owen Farrell, B, Johnny Sexton, C, Greg Laidlaw, or D, Florin Vlaicu? Question number 4. Which nation won the most Winter Olympic gold medals in the decade? A, China, B, Russia, C, Norway, D, Canada. The most Winter Olympic gold medals in the decade. Question 5. Which male tennis player won the most Grand Slams in the decade? Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, or Stan Wawrinka? So remember, that's in the decade from 2010 through to 2019, last year. Which player won the most slams? Number 6. Which nation won the most women's Six Nations titles in the decade? A, England, B, France, C, Wales, D, Ireland. The most women's Six Nations titles in the decade. Number 7. After Serena Williams, which woman won the most Grand Slams in the decade? A, Naomi Osaka, B, Simona Halep, C, Maria Sharapova, D, Angelique Kerber. So after Serena Williams, who won the most Grand Slams? Okay. Sorry, Paul, I've lost it. Yeah, I'm good. Number 8, first Formula One question. Who was the only driver to win just one Formula One Drivers' Championship this decade? Just one. Jenson Button, Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso. The only driver to win just one championship this decade. Number 9, which nation was the most successful in the Paralympics this decade? A, Great Britain, B, China, C, Brazil, D, USA. And last one in this round. Which men's European club have won the most domestic trophies in the last decade? The most domestic trophies in the last decade. A, Barcelona, B, Benfica, C, Paris Saint-Germain, D, Celtic. Okay, last round. If you haven't played your Joker yet, you've got to play it this round. So it could be a good thing or a bad thing. So if you haven't texted me in saying Joker yet, then this is your round to do it. Text in now. Let me know that you're playing your Joker. And then we will crack on with our 6th and final round. Okay, let's crack on. So this is an example of Teamoji. So you've got the black circle and the fire, and that's Blackburn. So that's an example of the sort of thing that we're going for here. Wide range of sports covered, and different emojis with the sports teams. Here we go. Number 1. A few late jokers gone in for this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 jokers for this round. Another big round. Number 2. I'm going to allow on this round, obviously nobody's been Googling or doing anything like that for the whole quiz, but if you want to take a picture of the screen and then you can come back to it, if you've got a bit more time at the end, then feel free to do that one. Do that with this round. There's number 3. Number 4. Remember, these are from a whole range of sports. There's a lot of sports covered in this. Anyone regretting their jokers being played so late? Number 5. Okay, number 6. Number 7. Three more left. Number 8. Number 9. And last question of the quiz. Number 10. And there we go. Take 30 seconds, a minute. Any questions that you needed to come back to? Again, we're not going to recap or go through them again, but if you've written any down that you need to have another think about, take 30 seconds, and then we will be going through the answers. Okay, we're going to crack on with the answers. Round 4. Don't think there was any jokers in this round. But here are the answers to round 4.
Well, the best word I can say, but will describe this was boom. Ooh, what was this? It was really good.
Number 1, Jurgen Klopp.
I mean, obviously, I'm super shocked, but I'm just super blessed that Wimbledon decided to give me the wild card. I mean, I never expected this to happen.
Coco Gauff, who beat Serena Williams at Wimbledon last year.
To me and to the team and everybody who's been involved over the last 4 years, it means absolutely everything. And the planning, the hard work, the dedication, the commitment.
Owen Morgan, who captained England obviously to the World Cup last year.
I want to say,
Number 4.
man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
Anthony Joshua, who got beat by Ruiz and then beat him on the second time round.
I don't enjoy winning
5.
individual awards, especially the silver ball kind of fell with no meaning for me, because the whole point of winning those awards is winning the World Cup.
Lucy Bronze, number 5, England women's captain.
I'm delighted, thrilled, disappointed with the way we played at times because that's not the standards we set ourselves. But the resilience of the team, and I told you before the game, there's a relentlessness about them. And obviously we had to rely on Freeze of some unbelievable saves.
6, Neil Lennon.
It's my 3rd year now in France, and last year I sort of got a big injury in the Commonwealth Games, and I feel like Berlin was a little bit too soon for me.
7, Katarina Johnson-Thompson.
Yeah, I was actually saying to Ariel, maybe when you actually are a billionaire, you don't need to do the Billy Strut. You know what I mean? So the Billy Strut got me to a billion. Now I'm a billionaire, so I'll just chill for a bit.
Number 8, Conor McGregor.
I am feeling good. It has taken 65 years for a human being to make history in sport. After Roger Bannister made history in 1954, it took another 63 years. I tried and I did not get.
Number 9, Eliud Kipchoge, who ran the first sub 2-hour marathon last year.
We've got another week
And the final one.
to get back on the horse, and take that horse to the water, and you can ask that horse. You can say, "Hey, horsey, do you want to have a drink, or do you want to swim?"
Joe Marler, number 10. What an interview. So moving on to round 5, and there was a lot of jokers in this round. So this could be a big one. This could be a swinging round. Question 1, which men's English football team won the most major honours in the decade? The answer was B, Chelsea, who won 11 trophies, closely followed by Man City, who won 10. Number 2, which player has scored the most test match cricket runs in the last decade? The answer is A, Alistair Cook. And he scored 8,818 runs in the decade. Anyone interested? Number 3, which male rugby union player scored the most international points this decade? It was A, Owen Farrell. Farrell scored 906 points in the decade. Number 4, which nation won the most Winter Olympic gold medals in the decade? It was D, Canada. (102 medals). Question 5. Which male tennis player won the most Grand Slams in the decade? It was A, Novak Djokovic, who won 15, followed by Nadal, who won 13. Moving on to number 6. Which nation won the most Women's Six Nations titles in the decade? It was A, England. A lot of the answers have been A, so if anyone's going for the old, it was A in the first question, so it can't be A in the next question. That one's not going to pay off. Number 7, after Serena Williams, which woman won the most Grand Slams in the decade? It was D, Angelique Kerber. Kerber won 3 Grand Slams, and she was second to Williams, who won 12. Question 8. Hope Paul's team behind the camera went with what he said. I saw him mouthing the answer to his team. It was B, Nico Rosberg was the only driver to win just one Formula One championship. Number 9, which nation was the most successful in the Paralympics this decade? It was B, China. And question 10, which men's European club have won the most domestic trophies in the last decade? It's D, Celtic. Celtic have won 18 trophies in the last 10 years. Barcelona 11, Chelsea 10. Don't forget, if you played your joker in that round, take your points and double it. And we'll move on to the last round, round 6. And here we go. Question 1 was Red Bull Racing. There's going to be a lot of people kicking themselves in this one. This is a kick yourself round. Question 2 was Tennessee Titans. Question number 3 is Manchester Thunder. Manchester Thunder. And they are a Netball Super League team, for anyone wondering. Number 4. Kolkata Knight Riders. Cricket team in the Indian Premier League. Number 5 is Los Angeles Clippers. Is it gone? Are we on? Number 6, sorry if it cut out for anyone there. Number 6 is, sorry Paul, can you just, oh, it's gone. Yeah, let me just find the right slide. There we go. Sorry about this, folks. It's gone again. It's gone again. Right. We're good. We're good. Number 6 is Hamilton Academicals. Apologies for the delay, folks. My bad. Hamilton Academicals, Scottish football team. Number 7 is Forest Green Rovers. Number 8, Eintracht Frankfurt. Number 9, Castleford Tigers. Castleford Tigers. And the final one, Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers. So once you've added up your score, make sure if you've got the joker in that round, you double that round. Toss up your points from rounds 1 to 3 and rounds 4 to 6. Add it all up. It should be out of 70, 60 questions, and then the option to play your joker, which doubles it. So it should be out of 70. If you could, just for simplicity for me, if you could text through your answers via text message, not on WhatsApp, just so I don't have to keep jumping between WhatsApp and text when I'm looking at the scores. If you could send it via text, that would be great. So I'll give you a bit of time now, add up your scores and to text them through to me. And then we will announce the winners. Got some scores coming in, some big scores. that's the next video. Okay, the scores are coming in. If you haven't texted in your scores just yet, keep them coming in. I'm going to announce the answers in just a minute. Before I announce the answers, we're just going to watch a quick video.
I've been asking the questions, waiting on answers that haven't been written. An endless sea of faces, yours is the only one I've been chasing. I've been asking the questions, waiting on answers that haven't been written. An endless sea of faces, yours is the only one I've been chasing.
Jesus asked this question to his disciples, his mates. He said, "Who do you say that I am?" And Peter, one of his best mates, one of his closest friends, Peter piped up and he said, "Jesus, you are the Messiah, you are the Son of God." And like it said in the video, who do you say I am? A question that Jesus asked is kind of a question that we've all got our answer at some point ourselves. And C.S. Lewis, who's the guy who wrote the Narnia books, C.S. Lewis says that there's really only 3 options of ways we can answer that question. C.S. Lewis says that you can't possibly say that Jesus was just a good man or he was just a good teacher. C.S. Lewis says that he's either mad, he's bad, or he's God. The evidence for Jesus' existence is clear, and we have in the Bible, we have eyewitness accounts of what Jesus did and said. And we have eyewitness accounts that Jesus died and then rose again. But C.S. Lewis says that if we're thinking about Jesus, he's got to either be mad, bad, or God. Either he's mad, he's crazy, he thinks he's God's son, and he's telling people that he's God's son. He's making all these audacious claims about how he's existed since the beginning of time. Maybe he's just a bit crazy. Maybe he's a bit of a lunatic. Or he's bad. He's telling people to follow him. He's telling people to listen and obey the things that he's saying. If he's not who he says he is, then he's kind of a bad person, getting people to follow him, when actually he doesn't have the authority to make those claims. Or he's God. Or he really is who he said he was. He really did do all those things. He really did speak with that power. And he really did die and come back to life. Here's a quote from C.S. Lewis. It seems to be obvious that he was neither a lunatic or a bad person. And consequently, however strange or terrifying or unlikely it may seem, I have to accept the view that he was and is God. C.S. Lewis concluded that Jesus was the Son of God. I've concluded exactly the same. Daniel Cutting, who we heard from earlier, has concluded the same, as have millions of people around the world. And if it is true, if Jesus really is who he says he really is the Son of God, and he really did come to earth to save humanity, he really did die and come back to life, then that changes everything. That changes our lives. That is life-changing news for all of us. Jesus says, "Who do you say I am?" And really, that is a question that we all need to answer. If you'd like to learn more about this guy, Jesus, why don't you tune into a church service? There's plenty online at the moment. You can tune into the Kennet Valley Free Church services every Sunday morning on this YouTube channel. Or if you've got a local church near to you, why don't you tune in and watch them if you want to find out a bit more about this guy, Jesus. Or I'd absolutely love to hear from you. You've got my text number at the bottom. If you just want to know a bit more about this guy, if you want to have a chat about him, then please get in touch with me, and I'd love to send you one of these. This is a copy of the book of Mark from the Bible. You could probably read through that in about a week, and that tells you all about Jesus. The first verse in the book of Mark says the beginning of the good news about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Mark's saying that is good news. Jesus is good news for all of us. So if you want to know more about Jesus, this guy who is good news, then get in touch with me, or why don't you tune into a service on YouTube or somewhere. Cool. It's time to reveal the answers. And we've got some big old scores. We have got a winner. I thought for a moment we were going to have a tie, but we have got a winner. We've got a three-way tie for second place. And our three-way tie for second place is my cooler older brother's team on 56, the in-betweeners on 56, and the super box on 56. That is a three-way tie. And so, to see who gets the second prize, we have a tiebreaker question. The tiebreaker question is this. It's not going to come up on the screen. But we had the question earlier in round 5, which male rugby union player scored the most international points this decade? Owen Farrell, Johnny Sexton, Greg Laidlaw, or Florian Vlaicu? Now, Farrell scored 906. But can you tell me what the total for those 4 players is? The total amount of points scored by those 4 players over the course of the decade. And the closest will come second. But the winners are Skywalker, the Skywalkers. So very well done to Aaron Anil and his team, who got 57 points. So they've won by 1. So there's 1 point separating the top 4 teams, which across 6 rounds and 70 points, that is very, very close. So very well done, very big well done to the Skywalkers. There is a £50 Amazon voucher coming to you guys. Congratulations. But a massive, massive thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I'm going to go through some of these teams and say well done to them. Well done to the oldies. Well done to, who have we got here? We've got the team Lee Telford, Westwood Warriors. We've got the Atta team. We've got the Shuttlecocks, Tanner's Gang. This is going to be messy. Pangers and Mash, the Smiths, Quarantine, URs, Poverty's Perfect. Well done to all of you guys. You've done such a good job. There's some great scores in there. But, Skywalkers, you've won it. Make sure, I've got a text in from the In-Betweeners. Get your texts in for Superbox and my older brother's team, my cooler older brother's team. And we'll have a closest wins on that one. Let me find the answer. Still waiting for a guess from a couple of teams. Superbox, Aaron and team, and Josh and team. Have you got a guess for the total amount of points scored this decade by Owen Farrell, Johnny Sexton, Greg Laidlaw, and Florin Vlaiku? Superbox, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. If you don't send me a guess now, then you're out. You're out of the running. Okay, so we've got three guesses. We've got 2,400 from the Superbox, 2,999 from my cooler older brother's team, and we've got 3,123 from the In-Betweeners. The correct answer is 3,174, which means the In-Betweeners, you were closest, so you guys are second, and you are getting a £25 Amazon voucher sent to you. Very well done to you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been great to be with you. Sorry about any technical hitches and things as we're going along. But thank you so much for watching, wherever you've been watching from, far and wide, Bermuda, South Africa, England, United States, wherever you've been watching from. It's been great to be with you. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.